has been arrested for the murder of District Judge Kevin Mullins. Again, that press conference just confirming what local reports there have been saying for a few hours now, but a lot of those details just coming to light officially in the last moments. You saw them unfolding live here. Again, to recap, officials now saying that there was some sort of argument inside of the judge's courtroom, in the judge's chambers, and that the sheriff allegedly pulled out a gun and shot and killed allegedly the judge there in front of other witnesses. We're joined here by Sam Brock, who's been monitoring some of these developments as we're watching them here. Sam, we were both looking into this before the show started, not knowing if these were true because they seem so bizarre. What did you take from what we just heard?
Yeah, it sounds outlandish, certainly. I mean, this is such a rare thing to see government officials and members of law enforcement involved in acts of violence like this. It is inherently gaudy stunning. What I took away from it, among other things, is the fact that this didn't seem to be a spur-of-the-moment, spontaneous action based on what we just heard from the Kentucky State Police trooper there, but in fact that there was some sort of buildup that occurred before the violence. And now, of course, Sheriff Steins is in custody. I'm also seeing it appears that he was set to offer some sort of a deposition related to a 2022 lawsuit that did involve one of his sheriff's deputies being accused of something very untoward that may have occurred, according to that lawsuit, in Mullins' chambers. No idea. It is completely speculative to say if these things might be related or not. Simply that it doesn't seem like there is a wealth of information that's out there right now that would have necessarily connected the judge, in this case, Kevin Mullins, to Mickey Steins, the sheriff, and what might have been a motivation for this act of violence. Again, the state trooper himself said he didn't want to speculate and didn't offer any possible explanations for motives. We just know that you have a 54-year-old man right now who lost his life, and presumably his family is in deep levels of grief. And this is just something that should never happen. And I'm wondering whether or not there was a lot of questions initially as to how someone could have obtained access to a weapon and get it into a courthouse to shoot a judge in his chambers. And this, of course, sort of ties the bow on that it's a member of law enforcement who obviously had a firearm. So we're all sort of processing this right now. And you did also hear the state trooper say that they had put the local high school in lockdown for a period of time. There were actually reports, Gotti, of an active shooting downtown. And then the state police coming out and saying later, don't worry, to parents in the community, your kids are safe. This was an isolated incident. And in fact, it was an isolated incident. And now, obviously, this county here, Letcher County and Whitesburg, which is a couple hours away from Louisville and from Lexington, is grieving and trying to put the pieces together as to how something like this could have happened.
Yeah, not just a member of law enforcement, the top officer in law enforcement in that county now arrested for murder of a judge in his chambers. That's what the state trooper there is saying. Yeah. Also, the state trooper saying that right now they are asking for prayers as they process all of that. From what we understand, that courthouse there, obviously it is a very active scene. But did they say anything about whether or not that court is going to be open in the coming days?
Yeah, I didn't catch anything about that, and it might have been addressed during that press conference. I didn't catch it if it was. One would think it'd be pretty hard to imagine that they would be resuming business as usual tomorrow as the investigation continues. As of earlier today, you had the coroner on scene and Kentucky State Police collecting evidence. So I don't know how long that process is going to go on for, but as we can see right now, Gotti, as you've articulated, there's crime scene tape around the Letcher County Courthouse. You have a heavy police presence. It would be hard to envision a circumstance in which there was just court as normal tomorrow, as so many folks right now are just trying to wrap their heads around how something like this is possible.
Nothing is going to be normal in that community for quite some time. Sam Brock, thank you so much for helping us monitor these developments. Thanks again,
Thanks, Gotti.